Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Purple and Gold Bars. I'm your host, Supreme. We finally made it to the Vikings vs. 49ers preview. We're going to go over each team briefly, as well as touch on some keys to victory, as well as my X factor for this week's game. So sit back, relax, hit that like button, leave a comment, and let's get started. What hasn't already been said about this San Francisco team? Their offense is loaded, their defense is loaded, and they have a hell of a coaching staff. After week one, the 49ers' highest PFF scores came from players like Brock Purdy, Trent Williams, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Dominic Puny, and Jordan Mason. None of those scores are a surprise after their week one performance. When it comes to the Vikings, our highest PFF scores came from Blake Brandel, Aaron Jones, Andrew Van Ginkel, Harrison Smith, Brian O'Neill, and Sam Darnold. The difference between our grades and their grades is the reaction that most of us had when we saw them. I don't think anybody expected such high grades from the Minnesota Vikings at all going into week one. But that's a good thing. I don't want anybody to see us coming. Unfortunately, that might end this weekend. When I think about the 49ers, from top to bottom, to me it feels like our Vikings are doing everything they can to emulate their success. We're just in the early stages. They have a proven offense and a proven defense and a proven coach. We have a potentially good offense that's going to experience some growing pains with Sam Darnold this year, but we have an excellent defense that's transitioning from last year that has taken a step forward. Despite all that, and having to go out there and prove what we're made of, I believe we are a fringe playoff team. What I mean by that is that we have all the talent in the world to make a playoff run, and we're more than capable to hang with any playoff team. That brings me to my keys to victory. I think the biggest opportunity that we have this week is that we're facing a rookie running back. Yes, he had a great game last week, but it is our job this week to make him look like a rookie. I think that if we can stop the run and heavily reduce the impact that it has on the game, we have a tremendous chance of winning this game. By doing so, hopefully we can force Brock to throw 30 plus times. Maybe we can capitalize with an interception or a turnover. In my opinion, that is our path to victory. My next key to victory is that we need to make this game, like all games this season, a team win. That means everybody does their part. If we, at any point in the game, have to start looking to a single area of the team, whether that be the defense, whether that be the O-line, whether that be Sam Darnold, to win us this game, the wheels have fallen off somewhere, and we're grasping to stay afloat. So, in my opinion, for our team to not only do well this season, but also to develop as a team so that we are better for next year, every game needs to be a team win. And if we do that, we can win against any team in the NFL. We have the talent, we have the coach. All we have to do is navigate the growing pains. I've been talking about growing pains a lot in my previous videos because it's a big factor that I think we need to be focused on this year so it doesn't transition heavily next year. If KOC calls a brilliant game and doesn't make crazy mistakes, doesn't try to get too fancy and stalls out drives when we really need those to be scoring drives, I think that will lead us to win. I think if the entire team comes to play, plays hard, and leaves it out on the line, we have a really good chance of winning. That brings me to my X factor. I don't think Jordan Addison's going to play. So it would be easy to say that JJ is going to be our X factor because last year Addison just shredded that defense. It makes me wonder how bad it's going to get with JJ out there. But that's not who I'm going for with my X Factor this week. For me, Jalen Naylor is our X Factor. Why? Because one, he gets to prove that he has wide receiver 2 talent and skill. And hopefully, because he's not as well known, he'll be in their blind spot. That's why I hope Jalen Naylor can help take the top off this defense and force the defense to respect both him and JJ. That brings us to the prediction. I was having a hard time with the script with the crystal ball video because I'm truly having a hard time seeing how this game is going to play out. It's easy when the football math is so one-sided. You know what I mean? Like last week, there was just so many areas where, just to make it easy, our team was an A plus and their team was a C plus. So, of course, that led me to believe that we had an advantage there. And once all the advantages piled up, I just knew what was going to happen. And this week, I am having a really hard time with it. This team is no joke. I have wanted our Vikings to become like the 49ers since they started to emerge like 3-4 years ago. I wasn't very much a Brock Purdy critic or naysayer. I kept quiet because I remember it all started when he came in at the end of that season after, I forget who was their quarterback that got injured, but he came in for a couple games, and then the next season was the first season that he took over as starter. And in those 2 late season games, he looked like a serviceable quarterback. And to me, it didn't make any sense. But at the same time, it was only like a game or 2. So I just stayed quiet. And like 3 years later, I'm glad I didn't shit talk him. And I'm glad that I didn't say anything at the time because he proved a lot of people wrong. And I'm hoping very much is the case on the micro level for Sam Darnold this game, and also for the long term with JJ McCarthy. People have slept on our team, and they don't realize that we have quietly built one of the best rosters this NFL has. I don't know if people remember, but I guess with how fast the media turns, people don't remember the coverage leading up to and during the draft. When it came to my Vikings, every quarterback analyst, everybody that threw their opinion was basically saying the same thing. Whichever quarterback lands in Minnesota, they have such a great supporting cast and coaching regime that there is no doubt that they're going to be set up for success. A few months later, and that's all been forgotten. And going into week 1, people thought this was just going to be 2 bad teams playing. I got it in my comment section, and I've seen it in a lot of Vikings channels' comment sections. And, that's why I'm here to remind people that that we're nothing to be messed around with. Our organization, our team, our supporting cast around Sam Darnold is what all your teams wish they had. Outside of maybe like the top 3 teams. But outside of them, you wish you had a team as good as this. We're playing with house money this year. That's why I know that we're going to give the 49ers a hard time. And I guess I'm just beating them around the bush because I really cannot tell who's going to win this game. The last couple days I've been trying to figure this out, and I really cannot figure it out. The closest I can get is that it's going to be a 3-point game. It could go either way. I have to make a decision. My pick this week isn't going to be based on the numbers, on the analytics, on the anecdotal. I'm going to go based off my gut and what I hope to happen. Now, I wouldn't bet on this, but I would definitely pick this if I was playing like a weekly pick'em or something like that. But I think that after that scrappy, hard-fought game, the Vikings are going to come out on top, kicking a field goal as time expires to win 24-21. Would it surprise me if the 49ers won by 3? No. Would it surprise me if the 49ers won by 10? No. Would it surprise me if the Vikings won by 10? No. And that's why I can't wait for this week's game. Well, there you have it. What do you guys think about my analysis as well as my X Factor? Tell me in the comments who your X Factor is and what your score prediction is. I sure as hell had a hard time making this prediction, but my heart, my gut, it tells me we win. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Vikings content like this. And until next time, Skol Vikings!